missed you earlier this week. I was out of town, but now I'm back.
Alrighty.
Everything good?
Yep.
Alrighty, we'll give it a minute. Make sure everybody gets a chance to join. Good morning, Anthony.
Morning.
How you doing, bud?
Great.
Good. Good. Happy Thursday. Okay, we'll get started here in about 2 minutes, guys. We're gonna let everybody have a chance to try and join, and then we'll get going.
All right.
Good morning to you as well, Mr. Eisner. Morning. Thank you, Anthony. Appreciate it.
There's Carlos.
Morning, Carlos. How you doing, Carlos? Good. Good. Hi, Jabari.
Hello, Carlos. How are you? Good. How are you, Jabari? Good.
All right, guys. We'll get started here in about 30 seconds. I'm gonna do one thing real quick. Alrighty, there we go. Hey, Christian, good morning, sir. All right, looks like your hair looks good, man. You're spiking it a little bit. I like it. Good.
Looking fresh.
No Jordy.
Oh, you're right, Anthony. But who else is here, Anthony? Who is here?
Carlos, Jabari, Christian, Kyle.
Yep, and then we've got Yordi.
There's Jordy.
So, here we go, guys. Let's get started. We are going to start today like we always do in this class. Let's take a quick look at our calendar.
All right.
This is our final week, full week of school, guys. We finish school next week, but this is our last full week. So, share it to your screen. Let's take a look together.
Should be.
All right.
All right.
All right. Today, guys, is Thursday. Okay. We are sitting on the fourth day of the week. Today is Thursday. What day of the week is it, Anthony? Thursday.
Thursday.
Okay, it's Thursday, and we are still in the month of. We still are in the month of May.
Okay.
Okay, so today's Thursday, May. What number is it today, Kyle?
20th.
The 20th. Okay, we say this with the T8. 20th. And our year, guys. What year are we in, Carlos?
Carlos.
2021. Thank you, Carlos. Good.
All right.
Let's make sure we try and keep a calm voice, Anthony. Remember that, all right?
Okay.
Thanks, bud. So, Ashton, break it all down. What's our date today?
It is Thursday, May 20th, 2021.
Thank you, sir. And if today's Thursday, guys, that means that yesterday, let's see here, let's get a yellow. Jabari, yesterday, the yellow, what day was yesterday?
Monday.
That's okay, good guess. It's a Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Right, yesterday was Wednesday. And if we're talking about tomorrow, Anthony, you always like this your favorite day of the week tomorrow?
Friday.
Friday. Good guy. Good. Okay, so today's Thursday, May 20th, 2021. Yesterday was Wednesday. Tomorrow will be Friday. And when we look at this calendar, guys, take a look here. We're going to go purple for Durango. We have tomorrow one day. We come back next week. We have two. Our second day of school. We come back for Tuesday, our third day. And our last day is on Wednesday next week. Okay, so how many days do we have left, Jabari? What's this number?
Next week.
4.
So I have 4 left. That's good. I keep stronger.
Okay, tell everybody. Tell them one more time. What'd you say?
So you gotta keep stronger and
We gotta keep focused and we gotta stay
stronger.
strong. Okay, stay focused and stay strong. Finish the school year with some good energy and focus. So let's dive in. Let's take a peek. We're gonna head on over. Mr. Anthony, what are we gonna do now? Who are we gonna check out?
Carlos Zeus.
Carla Zeus. So we're gonna take a look at some news, CNN 10 News, and see what's going on today in our news.
Alrighty.
Okay, really cool. The CNN 10 great stories every day, and they do it all school year. Okay, over the summer they stop sometimes, but it's a really cool thing to check out. Get some ideas on what's going on around the world.
All right.
And remember, when we look at this,
You look like shit.
we're going to talk about what was our favorite story and why. I like the story about the ship because it was awesome. Okay, so there's an example. Here we go. This doesn't look awesome though. This looks kind of. We'll see. Let's listen along, guys. Here we go.
Hi, I'm Carl Azus. What's being described as a serious crisis for Europe is our first topic today. The dispute directly involves Spain and Morocco. Spain is part of the European Union, Morocco is not, and many Africans have tried to enter Europe by going from Morocco to Spain. A little more than 5 years ago, a migrant crisis began in Europe. Hundreds of thousands of people from the Middle East, Southern Asia, and Northern Africa either entered or tried to get into Europe. Some of them took tremendous risks to do it. Many were running from terrorism and war in their home countries. Many were looking for a better life. The North African nation of Morocco and the southwestern European nation of Spain are separated by a waterway called the Strait of Gibraltar. But there are cities on the Moroccan side of that strait that border Morocco but are officially part of Spain. And on Monday and Tuesday, more than 8,000 people tried to illegally cross from Morocco into these Spanish cities, many by swimming. This isn't the first time this has happened. It is the first that so many crossed in such a short period of time. Why? We don't know exactly. The tensions between Spain and Morocco did increase recently. A rebel leader who has fought Morocco's government has been treated at a Spanish hospital. That made Morocco angry. And though Moroccan officials have said the surge of migrants had nothing to do with that, some experts have suggested maybe it did. Spanish officials, meanwhile, are under pressure to deal with the illegal border crossings and prevent new ones.
Exhausted and cold, thousands of Moroccan migrants swam their way to the Spanish enclave of Ceuta in northern Africa. Some wading to shore, others breaching a border fence, many of them minors and in need of medical attention. Some entered southern Ceuta at Tarajal Beach, but most came through northern Ceuta at Benzu Beach. It was just a short swim around breakwaters, which marked the border, up one side and then down the other to reach Ceuta, a Spanish government spokesman said. Risking their lives, many came under the cover of darkness, some aided by flotation devices. But the light at the end turned out to be Spanish authorities, police in force. As the migrants arrived, many out of breath. One Moroccan man drowned, the government said. Some were jubilant as they ran into Ceuta town, but it would be a short visit for many of them. The Spanish Interior Minister saying thousands had already been sent back.
Y vamos a seguir siendo con
We will be strong in defending our borders.
nuestras fronteras.
Spain's Prime Minister announced a visit to Ceuta and Spain's other enclave, Melilla, on Morocco's north coast, and thanked the European Union for its support.
Que vamos a restablecer.
We will restore order with the greatest speed. We will be firm to guarantee the security of our citizens against any challenge and under any circumstance.
Troops were deployed to back up police and keep the situation contained while increasing border security, officials said. The president of Ceuta, home to 84,000 Spaniards, called the situation unprecedented, demanding help.
Slow-moving storms have soaked parts of Texas and Louisiana this week, and millions of people in the region are under flash flood watches into Thursday. Relentless rain, in some areas more than a foot of it, is only part of the story. Strong winds have also blown over trees and damaged some buildings. The power was out for 100,000 Texan homes and businesses on Wednesday morning, but by the afternoon, that number had been reduced to 29,000. In neighboring Louisiana, at least 4 deaths have been blamed on the weather this week, and with more rain in the forecast through Friday, some areas of Oklahoma and Arkansas are also on the lookout for possible flash floods.
In the U.S., flash
Damage
floods
a
kill more
flood.
people than
Flash
tornadoes,
floods.
hurricanes, or lightning. A flash flood creates a rush of moving water that can sweep a grown man off his feet, a car off the road, and even your entire home off its foundation. When the ground becomes so saturated that water can no longer seep into the soil causes a rise in water in a flash. Densely populated areas have an extremely high risk of flash flooding, with the additional concrete and less grassy areas for the water to soak into the soil, and they can see flash flooding very quickly. In mountainous terrain, the combination of gravity plus the easy runoff can lead to catastrophic flooding when all of that water is funneled into rivers, creeks, and even the valleys. Remember, flash flooding can happen in the blink of an eye. That's why it's important to stay alert and pay attention in case a flash flood watch or warning is issued for your area.
10-second trivia. When two U.S. events occurred in 1920, President Wilson was reelected. The Great Gatsby was published. Inflation hit a record high. Or Babe Ruth made his
Great.
debut.
Yes.
In
You know, it's
1920,
a hit
inflation in
record
June was
high.
almost 24% higher than it had been the previous year.
Interesting.
Inflation is the textbook term for prices rising over time and purchasing power falling. Think of a trip to the grocery store. It sets you back $100. A year from now, you buy all the same items, but they now cost $103. That's inflation. 3% to be exact. So, what causes inflation? A rise in production costs is one scenario. For example, booming energy prices can drive up the cost of transportation or manufacturing. Rising wages can also contribute to inflation. If business owners have to pay workers more, they might also raise prices to cover those higher labor costs. Inflation can also happen when the demand for goods exceeds supply. Then businesses selling those items can increase prices. Prices going up slowly is generally considered a good thing, especially if wages rise too. It helps keep the economy dynamic and growing. The U.S. Central Bank has even a target inflation rate, 2%. But inflation can quickly get out of control when governments print too much money to pay for spending. When not enough real value underlies that paper, prices surge. That's called hyperinflation. It happened in Germany, in Zimbabwe in the 2000s, and most recently in Venezuela. And it's the Fed's job to make sure the United States keeps the inflation rate on track.
So those groceries Rachel Crane mentioned, if you'd bought them for $100 last April, you would have paid more than $104 for them this April. The U.S. government says consumer prices are up 4.2% from last year. That's their biggest increase since 2008. Just about everything's getting more expensive. One reason is that the American economy continues its rebound from the drop it took after the COVID pandemic set in. But stocks in the U.S. and around the world have been dropping over the past couple days because investors are worried about continuing inflation. The big question in all of this isn't whether inflation is taking place. It is. What's unknown is how long it will last and how high it will go. Some prominent economists believe that quickly rising prices will be a temporary thing. One argues that when supplies of hard-to-find goods like computer chips and lumber drop back down to their normal levels, prices will too, so the inflation would be temporary. Others are concerned that if the flow of goods doesn't get back to normal soon, Americans might stop shopping because things are too expensive. That could really hurt the U.S. economy because it runs on consumer spending. From rising prices to falling arches, these are before and after shots of what was known as Darwin's Arch in the Galapagos Islands. It's one of the most famous landmarks in the archipelago, which is located about 700 miles west of the South American nation of Ecuador. The country's Ministry of the Environment says natural erosion caused the arch to fall. Its collapse was reported on Monday, and a tour boat happened to be nearby when the top of the 140-foot structure came crashing down. The company says it'll miss this iconic site in the Galapagos. Of course, the two pillars are still standing, so they may be renamed. Things you won't find on the menu at Wendy's. Alligator. But some people recently found a 7-foot gator in the parking lot of a Wendy's in Florida. Experts say the animal was probably trying to move from one body of water to another when he arrived at the fast food restaurant, and some pedestrians had to hurry out of its way to avoid becoming fast food. Police joked that the gator might have been hungry for a cheeseburger. They and wildlife officials removed the reptile. They had to get there on the double. Thankfully, the gator was just a single, but it wasn't a junior, and it was giving passersby a frosty reception. For CNN 10, I'm Carl Azouz.
Alrighty, guys. Let's
Okay.
take a look over here. We had 5 stories today. I'm sorry, some of them were a little boring today. I apologize. It was a little hard to watch today, but
Okay.
we've got at least a good ending story. So, first story was all about migration. Okay, people trying to get out of their country and go to another country. The second story, guys, was all about flash flooding.
Mm.
Okay. Then we talked about inflation. Okay. The cost of things is going up. We talked about the Galapagos Arch Falls. Okay, there was an arch out of the Galapagos Islands and the arch fell. And then finally, my favorite story, because I'm a big fan, the alligator at Wendy's. So, let's get it started. Mr. Anthony, can you get it started? What story do you want today?
It's about Wendy's.
Alright, the alligator.
Wendy's.
Good. Because
Awesome.
awesome. Very good, sir. Who's up next, Anthony?
Kyle.
Kyle, you're up.
I like to start about flash flooding because it's scary story.
It is scary. Flash flooding can be very scary.
Very
Kyle.
scary.
Who's up next, Kyle?
Aries, you up?
Davis. Let's pick someone else, Kyle. Davis isn't ready right now. That's okay, though.
Ashton McCall, he's up. Is you next?
Ash, go ahead, Ash. Very nice. Who's next, Ash? Alright, Jabari, you're up.
Nice story about what is it? Sydney.
Alrighty. Good job, Jabari. Jabari, who's going to be next? Christian or Carlos? Carlos. Carlos, you're up.
Cosmodrano.
Was it cool? Scary? What do you think? Okay, was it scary? Very good, Carlos. Alright, Carlos, who's going to be? Christian or Yordi? Yordi, can I get a number, Yordi? What story did you like today? Number 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5? What do you think, Yordi? 5. Okay, about the alligator. Thank you, bud. And finally, Mr. Christian, can you unmute your microphone? Alright, which number, Christian? 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5? Alright, thank you, buddy. Appreciate you. Alright, guys, let's go ahead now. We're going to jump on over. Stop here. So, for this class today, we're going to go through and do a quick, brief review of quite a bit of the stuff that we covered for this second semester. Okay? And when I show you this, it's going to say final exam, and it's going to look like a lot, but you guys have some time. You can do it all the way until next week. Okay, so for our offline time when we get off, we still got 10 more minutes, guys. But when we get off, we're going to have our digital calendar.
Okay.
And for some of you guys, that might be good enough for your final. You'll be fine there. But for other guys, I want you to go in and find your final exam on Google Slides.
Alright.
Okay? And we're going to pull this up. And it's got quite a bit of information that we went over the semester. So what I want to do today is kind of review a little bit of it so it's not all a little confusing. So, if you take a look, we have 16 slides. Okay? There's 16 of them. So that's quite a bit more than we usually do in one day. That's why you can finish this over time. You don't have to finish it all today.
Alright.
Okay, so Kyle, is this due today?
Yeah.
No.
No.
This is due by Wednesday of next week. So you have plenty of time, guys. There's no rush.
Alright.
Okay? And we're going to go through and talk about it. So this first page, we have Jabari. Is this guy, is he excited or is he sleepy? Oh, it's muted. Sorry, I didn't see that there. That's alright, though. Jabari, is he tired or is he Excited or sleepy? Sleeping, right? Is he sleepy?
Sleepy.
Sleepy. He's tired. He has his head down. Okay. So on this first page, you're going to take a look at these two pictures and then write about what you see. Okay. What social clues do we see in this first picture, Ashton? What do you think's going on here? He is looking stressed out. Okay, that might be able to fill in these blanks. Okay. So you guys, your first assignment is going to be to go through and look at these pictures, and then to try and talk about what's happening. What are they feeling?
Mm.
What might this tell you? What might the person be thinking? So we're just talking about some of these ideas of just looking at body language, looking at he has a computer, and figuring out how he feels. Okay. The next page is considering the other side. Okay. Other person's perspective. So you can go through and review this example, and they've talked about it here. Okay. We have to think about other people. Do we only think about ourselves, Anthony?
No.
No, we think about other people too.
Yes.
Alright. Christian. What is that? Alright, thanks for your name, Christian. Appreciate it, bud.
All right.
Alright, so on this one, you're going to read a couple scenarios. The other person's perspective. For example, your teacher tells you to stay after class for talking when you barely even said anything. Okay? Your teacher might have made a mistake. Possible solutions: be calm, tell the teacher. And then tell the teacher. Be calm, tell the teacher that you are sorry. Okay? So go in here and look at these scenarios. Then we come to this next page.
All right.
And this one is about using self-control.
All right.
Carlos, what is this? Carlos, let me use your mic, Carlos. Did you unmute Carlos? What is this sign right here, Carlos? Carlos, what does it say?
Stop.
Okay, and sometimes in life we need to do that. Mari, what does it say?
Stop.
Stop. Sometimes we need to stop and just relax and use self-control. Relax a little bit, okay? Anthony, what does the sign say?
When stop.
Stop. Okay, sometimes we need to stop and calm ourselves down, and maybe we need to even take a little
Take a deep breath.
deep breath and use some self-control. Okay, so read about it in the sheet. Answer some of these questions about these scenarios. All right. This next page is a little different. We have need or want. Okay, need or want. All right. A need is something we must have in order to live. We need food. We need toothbrushes. We need a house or an apartment or somewhere to live.
Mm.
Okay. A want is something that you want, but you do not need. Okay. What is this right here, Mr. Anthony? What is that?
TV.
It's a TV. It's an older TV, but it's a TV.
Yeah.
Anthony, do we need TVs?
No.
No. But do we want them? Do we like watching TV?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So taking a look at some of these words and deciding, do I need a coat? Yes.
Oh yeah.
If it gets cold, I need a coat. Do I need a shirt? Yes. Do I need video games? No.
No.
No. Okay. Next one is how communication helps us. This is just a reminder. It allows us to share our voice, to connect, to understand, to get what we need.
All
So
right.
review this page and answer the question. Hey, what are some things when having strong communication skills would help you? Kyle, why is it important to be able to communicate well?
To help other people to speak clearly.
Help other people. Very good, Kyle. Very good. All right. Next, we have a communicating with others, and we're talking about share how you might communicate. All right. What is this word right here, Jabari? Is that dinner or lunch?
Lunch.
Lunch.
Yeah.
At lunch, everybody's talking about their weekends, and you want to share. What might you say, Ashton, if they're talking about their weekends and you want to share? What would you say in that situation?
I have to tell them
example, real quick, we have good social distancing in here. That's perfect. Take my mask off. All right. Jabari, how do I look? Do I look sad or happy?
Happy.
Happy. Anthony, how do I look now?
Sad.
Good. Carlos, can you unmute your mic, Carlos? Carlos, how do I look?
Scared.
Scared. Good. Ashton, how do I look?
Angry.
Angry. Good. Good. Kyle, how do I look?
Tired and bored.
Tired. Good. Good, guys. Good. All right. So on this one, we're going to go through and look at some faces and decide how people prove it. Can't
All right.
wait to be able to teach and talk to you guys again. Without that, maybe next year we'll see. Okay, facial expressions. Okay, looking at how people look and what does it tell us? Okay, your friend, you talk about how easy the math test was, but you look like this. Does this person look like they had an easy time on the math test, Kyle?
No, she looked mad.
No. She looks mad. She maybe had a hard time. Okay? After that, guys, you talk about thinking about others again. Going in. Somebody broke their arm. What could you say to somebody who broke their arm, Carlos? You could say, I'm sorry. I hope you feel better. I'm sorry, I hope you feel better. Alright. So, you guys will finish up that page 12, and then we'll go to here where we describe and talk about our thoughts and opinions.
All right.
Okay, and right here you're just going to describe your favorite music, your favorite sport, your favorite snack. Okay, you guys are going to go through and look at all these. After that, we have active listening. This is just a review.
All right.
Okay, reading about how do I active listen. You're going to answer introductions and greetings. Look at some of these and then answer the
Yes.
question.
All right.
How do greetings make you feel? Jabari, how does it make you feel when I say hi? Bad or good?
Hi.
Does that make you feel bad or good?
Good.
Good. Okay, somebody saying hi might make you feel good. Okay, how can it make other people feel? Kyle, how does it make other people feel when you say hi?
You feel happy.
Yeah, it makes them feel happy. Very good. Okay. Last couple pages, guys. Staying positive. How can I have a positive statement about a situation?
All right.
Okay. After that, we have some
Conversation
conversation topics,
topics.
revealing some areas that we can talk to people about.
All right.
And then finally, we have
No cell phone zones.
areas we shouldn't use our phones. And then finally, think before you text. The last one is talked about for you guys that are texting or on social media, how to think first before you do it. All right, guys. So this is not due today. You can take your time and finish it all the way through next week.
Next week. All right.
There's no rush, but once you make a copy, save it. Make sure you know where it's at saved so you can go through and finish it all.
All right.
All right, guys. Hey, that's the end of our first period. If you want to go in, for some of you guys, like I said, digital calendars on the what I expect, and that's perfect.
Hey, I'm scared.
Okay. Anthony, yeah, you're gonna hang out, buddy. We're gonna do the calendar together, yes. Okay, but everybody else, we're all done. You guys have a great rest of your day. Today's Thursday, which means we have second period at 12:35.
Okay.
All right, guys.
Bye,
Let's get later.
Kyle.
See you after.
Bye, Kyle.
See you after. Have a good day.